Hey folks, it's Maxie here and welcome to a brand new TEW2020 video. You join us today. We are probably recording this, the earliest I've ever recorded a video. Not long out of bed, which is very weird because usually it's the last thing I do at night is record a video and then I'm half asleep, but it's the other way around. So hopefully, English is okay and we have a pretty good show. Now this one was booked quite a while ago, probably over the last 3 or 4 days. It's AEW Free For All series Who's House. We've obviously had the Free For All series in its various inceptions, but it's similar to obviously the stuff where we've done the stuff tributed to icons. But here it's just been like fun events. I don't know why I called it Dream Big. Maybe it was just the dream of having over 100,000 at an event. Sounds right. Party Boom was obviously the tribute to Private Party and Adam Cole, who were in the co and main events. Mexico, obviously the free show in Mexico, which obviously drew a very good rating there and was pretty good. We showcased a lot of our Mexican talent, and our main event was Andrade getting a shot at the World Championship. And last time we done David versus Goliath, which was obviously that main event of Jungle Boy Jack Perry defending his championship against Walter, where he lost after having the championship for 1 month. This time we've opted for someone who I've just grown so high on in the last 6 months. In real life is Swerve. I just think he's been outstanding. Truthfully, I wasn't watching NXT when he was Isaiah Scott, so I didn't really know what to expect too much. And I vaguely remember Killshot, but it's one of those ones as well where obviously Swerve done a lot of stuff in America, not really too much over here. Where maybe he'd done stuff in the UK, but not so much Scotland. So I'd heard of him. I was aware of him. I was aware he was good. But just every time I watch him, I'm just like, this guy's incredible. Like, in ring, charisma, look, you name it, is just perfect. So the guy has got a show dedicated to him for the Free For All series of Who's House. So he's in our main event. We'll explain that as the show goes along, because obviously he'll have a wee confrontation with his opponent. A lot of stuff actually to hold it back on as well, because I kind of want it for Revolution. So there'll be wee kind of sideshow matches here. There'll be a few people missing, but bear in mind I want to build a few programs up over the course of a period of time rather than obviously the show just before was last week. So sit back, relax and enjoy. This is AEW Free For All series. Whose house? Swerve's house. So 19 segments today, and we have a sold out 100k in the Northwest. Basically they didn't have an arena, so they gave me a generic one, but it's free, so does it technically sell out if nobody pays? Who knows? But anyway, Swerve opens up. He just shows what great run he's been on as TNT champion in AEW, having great matches constantly in Rampage. They're now actually dedicating a show in his honour. And he says he's got a tough challenge tonight, but Takeshita's faced him before, he's lost him before, and he's going to show that Takeshita can't even hang on at Swerve's level. So 81, he plugs a few things like his album, etc. But yeah, sure. Main event for tonight is going to be for the TNT Championship. Konosuke Takeshita challenges Swerve Strickland, and that was an 81. Straight action in our opening contest, and it has a little match up here from the Dynamite brand, and we had a superb wrestling match with good heat as Ricochet defeated Jay White in 11:54 with a 6:30 splash. Both guys went 85 performance, brings just an 80 rated matchup. We just made this regular. There is an after effect to this, but it is later on in the show. But a good one for Ricochet, and again Jay White's just a little bit. What's happening with the Super Elite? It's not been a great run for him as he picks up another L. We then had a showcase match for the AEW Trios Championship. I felt like it was a good opportunity to give some of the younger guys a chance. So 3 guys that are on the Carnage brand teamed up, former tag team champions there. The Regal brothers, Gabriel and Gary, teamed with Jordan Clearwater to take on Wardlow, Randy Orton and Richard Holiday. And of course it was Wardlow, Orton and Holiday that picked up the win in 10:13 when Richard Holiday pinned Gabriel Regal with the 2008. Fourth defence of the AEW Trios Championships, a 74 overall, and Cody's stable remains, for now, with all the belts. Speaking of Cody, he has come out and he is going to do an open challenge. He says, you know what, I'm here. I sprung this as a shock to everybody. I'm going to have a quick match up here. Somebody step up, face me, and I'll show how goddamn good I am, that I'm going to still be your AEW World Champion. Simple, effective, he's arrogant, he's cocky, the whole world evolves around him. And as a 70 rated segment for Cody's promo, it was Kayoma that stepped up. Kayoma, how you pronounce it. And I just wanted to give him a nice wee match up here for the championship. But had superb wrestling, great heat. Cody takes the win in 12:45 at the Crossroads, giving him his 5th defence of the world title. So in 88, Kaito will carry it with psychology. Still a show matchup as well, but it was just to give him an opportunity to see how he handled a world championship matchup, and at the same time giving Cody a decent opponent that he could dispose of. But remember one thing, Cody Rhodes is on the premises. Remember that for later. Moving on with some more sick matches, and we had a superb wrestling match with great heat as Will Ospreay defeated Bandido in 17:31 with a 6:30 centre. Somehow don't think he would do much of that these days. More of a Stormbreaker guy. But anyway, 92, fantastic stuff. 2 really good performances. Weren't just regular, gave him a bit of time. Ospreay was able to carry that with psychology. You can see their Will is starting to foreshadow a face turn. But good stuff there. And it leads up to basically after the matchup, just Ospreay, is obviously happy he's won. It says that he's celebrating, that's just a text of the angle. Obviously, Bandido's getting up, but Ospreay walks over, shakes his hand, and says, well done, it was a good matchup. So, we're building Will up to be a face. The trigger is going to get pulled in the next couple of episodes. And I'm hoping he's going to be a full-blown babyface either by Full Gear, or Revolution, sorry, it's the March one, or he turns at it. I'm not too sure yet. I'll see what programme we work with, but that's the plan at the moment. Next up, we got a few words from Santana as he's going to take on Ortiz. He's obviously debuted a new catchphrase. This was a 68 rated promo. It just basically kind of rants about the kind of stuff that was happening in real life. Just says that it was sick and fed up of Ortiz just being happy and where he was. When Santana keeps wanting more and more, he knows how good he can be, he tries to be better. And he feels that Ortiz was dead weight that was holding him down. So it's up to him tonight. But he's just going to end Ortiz. And that was a 68. In their matchup, good heat, decent wrestling, and Santana defeated Ortiz in 10:43 by submission. So 74, basic, 271s. Santana was off his game. I think I made a wild brawl, yep. I'm not just going to have the feud end there, we need to give them some sort of gimmick match at one point, but a 74, pretty good stuff, as the solo push for both guys will begin. Next up, we've got Priscilla Kelly down to do some colour commentary on the next matchup, a 71. She's got a potential heel turn in the offing. The matchup, because it was for the Shine Championship, it was a good heat and decent wrestling. It was Ruby Soho defeating Io Shirai in 12:39 with a Heidi Ho, giving her first defence. A 64 for Ruby, a 77 for Io, 73 overall. So we're building up Ruby as a champion here. I think it's pretty obvious where I'm going. Obviously, Priscilla Kelly's frustrated. It should have been her. She should have been the Shine champion. She's not. And that's why she's going to take her frustration out on Ruby. The plan is probably to go Ruby Soho, Priscilla Kelly for the Shine Championship at Revolution. Next up, a little package backstage. It is the Super Elite. It's obviously now down to Jay White, Adam Cole, Nick Jackson and Matt Jackson. And Jay is getting frustrated. He's like, lads, we lost again. That's a terrible New Zealander accent. It's just not good enough. What is going wrong? The way this is going, I'm going to end up flipping. Let's sort this out. So he's obviously getting really, really frustrated now that the way it's going. He's lost again. He lost a couple of matches with Adam Cole on Dynamite. It's just not been a good run for them. Stay tuned on that one. Next up, Ronda Rousey with a few words on Team Melo. And the segment here basically is Ronda Rousey advising that, she came back to the AEW. It's her second run here. She says she's seen the great run that Team Melo's had as Queen of AEW champion. And the plan is, going forward, to take that away from Tay. She's going to really push on her own career here and go forward as the Queen of AEW. Hopefully that phone in the background wasn't too loud. It was just in like a completely different room. Good matchup though. Ronda defeats Tay in 12:13 with the armbar. She wins the Queen of AEW Championship at 74. Match. Suffered from a lack of psychology. You can remember saw that to the high 70s. In truth, the reign was so good for Tay. Like, she got super over, and honestly, she's far above that brand now. So, same as what came before her with Priscilla Kelly, what came before her with Yuka Sakazaki. They've had such a great reign as Queen of AEW champion to try and get the prestige of that up, that they've just got so over that they're too good. They need to move on. So, Tay will go to either Dynamite or Rampage, and Ronda will have a run as your Queen of AEW. Next up, this was the one I was looking forward to. Shame it had the lack of psychology, because this would have been crazy. I was hoping Rush would have maybe carried it, or Andrade. But obviously, Lucha Bros had in a number one contenders match. They defeated the Young Bucks, so they got their opportunity against Le Faction and Gobernables. And it was about the Had Superb Wrestling with great heat, as the LFI defeat the Lucha Bros in 1402 when Andrade pinned Penta with a hammerlock DDT. LFI make defence number 10 of the World Tag Titles. 94, 93, 95, 93. Still the show matchups, that probably boosted that a little bit. It's such a good run. LFI have been absolutely outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. And after it, they cut a promo just basically saying, we've won again. There is no one on our level. And I'm that way. I'm like, I want to keep having great tag matches, but there's got to be a day where Rush and Andrade need to go singles runs because they've been outstanding. Rush especially has been fantastic. Co-main event was a little matchup I put in, which had just basically from Rampage, a little feud that's been brewing for a few weeks. Malachi Black and Jack Perry. Great here, good wrestling. Malachi defeats Jack in 11:55 with the Black Mass. Simple, effective, 80 rated segment, 74-78. The house always wins. And now it's time for your main event for the TNT Championship. Swerve Strickland, Konosuke Takeshita, and it's a 30-man Ironman match as well. 30-man, 30-minute. Can Takeshita carry it with the psychology? He couldn't, but the matchup was absolutely superb. Let's explain why. About the Had Superb Wrestling Great Heat, Swerve Strickland defeated Konosuke Takeshita in a 30-minute Ironman match by 2 falls to 1. During the matchup, we had Cody Rhodes run in and attack Takeshita. This gave Swerve his 4th defence of the TNT Championship. So you can see there, Takeshita wasn't able to carry the psychology. It's a shame because I think he had 82, but obviously it can be a bit inconsistent, which depends on your role. But your RNG, whatever it is. I know I've had times where his psychology will carry, some it won't. So it is. But anyway, 93 from Takeshita, 89 from Swerve. Both guys with fantastic stuff there. So I mean, if you take away the psychology part, like, I think you maybe close to 90, possibly. But the main thing there, Cody attacking Takeshita. They've had a little bit of back and forth previously on Rampage, and that's just really making sure that after it, Cody Rhodes attacks, he continues the attack on Takeshita, he puts him through the table, and he stands above him with the World Championship. Well, Swerve goes to the back with his TNT Championship. So 87 there. The show itself does an 89, so it's not one of our better shows, admittedly, but I felt like it done a lot in terms of storyline. Like, we know we've progressed Santana and Ortiz, we're moving ready for a face turn here. There's some other turns in the offing. There's a lot of stuff, as I say, I had to hold back on. I mean, my secondary title was the main event. But I think it's plainly obvious where the main event of Revolution is going to be. And I can confirm that next week on the channel, and in the last week of March in-game, Cody Rhodes will defend the AEW World Championship against Konosuke Takeshita. And I'm hoping Takeshita can carry that one. But I mean, I think you can pretty much already pencil in Ruby Soho, Priscilla Kelly, Santana and Ortiz in a stipulation matchup. And as I say, there'll be plenty of other stuff that I've held off, probably like Savannah J versus Britt Baker, and some stuff with Jay White and Adam Cole. So that's it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. I'm now going to go get some breakfast. So I'm absolutely starving. But yeah, it was just basically so I could get the show done early so I could get cracking on with the Road to Revolution. I'm that way where I'm trying to use this period of time to back up a few videos. But it's purely like, because quite soon I've got like a very full like couple of weeks where I won't be able to touch the game. So I want to try and just use that time that I've got just now. Because I feel as well like when I book a lot in succession, it's probably a better booking rather than like the big breaks. So I'm hoping if I can get to like an X point, and then if I've got any spare time aside for that, I can go play some other games. See, to be fair, just to add as well, if Ospreay Bandido main events, that's probably a 95 rated show. So it's all about picking your main event right as well when you do the main event spotlight. But it's a risk you take. As I say, I want to get 100 rated matches, but I do feel I'm probably going to have to make another save with a mod that's got a bit inflated stats. But I'll get those achievements one day, hopefully. Didn't help out to reset them, but we'll move. Anyway, thanks for watching. Most importantly as well, check out the Fantasy Booker subreddit, the Grey Dog Software forums, and check out bethebooker.net, and I think TWDB as well, still up and running. Just all the places that you get a lot of mods and stuff like that. I mean, it's probably not mentioned enough, but the time and commitment that mod makers and picture pack makers put in is, I think, if anything, we as content creators and players of the game are probably spoiled, because it is a hell of an effort. I read up on half these threads when people are creating mods, and I'm just like, that is such a commitment, and full respect to you. So thank you very much. But as I say, take it easy, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.